This is me teaching my class a little bit about hatchet safety. Two, like in between the fire pit and the tarp. So come up, you're not gonna wanna be back there. So you guys come up here, get close. All right, so let's get started. Guys, come up a little bit. Let's go. I don't want you talking while I'm talking, so let's respect this stuff. It's not a time to mess around. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, just so you know exactly what we're going to do today, will be on my YouTube channel, boom, Climbing Bushcrafter. So if you forget some of this, or you want to show someone this, or you want to try this out at a later date, I also already have a lot of stuff up there that we do in here, but this is for you that want to learn this stuff. So if you're wondering what Lily's doing today, she's just helping me out to film that. Does anybody else have a YouTube channel in this class?
No, I said shot myself out.
Well, say it. Yeah, well, if you said it clearly, maybe people will go to it. Today, so the point of today is a couple things. Number one, we're going to learn a little bit about axe safety and how to not hurt yourself. Okay, and there's a lot of different ways that you could hurt yourself with a little hatchet like this or a small camp axe. And I'm going to do everything I can to help you avoid that in this class. So if I show you a specific technique in here, it's because I want you to use that technique. If I show you something and you're doing something else, I'm going to kindly ask you to not use the axe anymore. So just respect it. These things are dangerous. So when we talk about our knives, right? So when we've gone through knife training, knife safety with these things, sometimes students will cut themselves. Maybe you get some stitches, nothing good. Sometimes it's less than that. You have the cut resistant gloves on, that's good. When we start moving up to an axe, we're talking about losing digits, losing limbs. Axes are not a joke, okay? So if you're goofing around out here, I don't have any tolerance for it. I do not care. You'll be out there. I have written assignments. I have no problem giving them out. So if you want to be out here doing this stuff, don't screw around. This is the camp. This thing right here is $8 at Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, you know where that is? There's one on 309. It's like 15 minutes away. So you can get what we need today at Harbor Freight for $8 or $9, which is pretty sweet. Now these aren't good axes, but they're good enough. They're good enough. So let's talk about a couple things. The project that you're going to work on for the next 2 days is to create what's called a baton. All right. So a baton is something we're going to use quite a bit in here. It's making a tool. It's basically a wooden hammer. So this is an old one that I found laying around that's not good. The reason it's not good is because the handle is too fat. It's not straight. There's mushrooms growing on it. They never took the bark off, etc. There's a lot of reasons why it's not great, but it gives you an idea of what you're going to be doing with it. So essentially what we're trying to do today is to create something that we can use with this axe to smash the top of the axe into a bigger piece of wood to split it open. Doesn't always have to be a bigger piece of wood, but you get the idea. So, number one, there are two types of axe sheaths that I made for this class. The first one is an old fire hose. So I got these from the fire department. So if you take the axe, you just slowly slide it in like that, it's good to go. There's no strap or anything, it just kind of stays in there for the most part. It's not perfect, it can come off like so, but it's a good thing so I don't have 10 axes in that bag with the sharp part of the axe out. So that's one. The second way, a preferred way, is the leather sheath. So usually high school kids in 2023 have no idea anything about leather, but I really like working with leather and making things, whether it's bags, jewelry, sheaths for knives, axes. Either way, I made this pretty cheap. Take the axe, put it in here like that, and this comes around and it buttons shut, okay? So now this one's more secure, it's not gonna come off. This is the one I would want for myself if I was traveling around, but I've lost a couple of these over the years, so I made these ones pretty quick. If you are using an axe in this class, if you look around, there's all these yellow axes, and the axes or hatchets are in stumps right now. They're in stumps, and you'll notice there's a green or yellow mat at some point right next to them. All those are positioned perfectly. That's where I want them. I don't ever want you to take the axe out and go somewhere else. Those are the axe stations. So you'll work there with a partner, and with that partner, you'll kind of go back and forth and work on what we're gonna do today, all right? Now, the reason that the pads are there we're in like the floodplain here, so you don't have to get dirty. You can put your knee or two knees on them. When we use this axe, we're always going to have two knees on the pads like this, okay? So this is a safe way, part of the safety when we're talking about axe safety. Two knees on this. Let me show you why. If I were doing something with this axe, and this is more comfortable, I'm gonna be honest with you, right here. This is more comfortable right here. One knee up like this, and I'm chipping away, I'm doing something. All of a sudden I get to a piece and I'm like, whack, and I hit it, and I miss, or this skips off the wood, boom, right into my ankle, okay? The axe might stay in your ankle, might not. Very mass amounts of damage can be done from these. So we don't want to do that. So we want to go two knees right here. So if it skips off, boom, you're over here. But to be honest with you, we're not really going to be using the axes like this, swinging, hitting, all this kind of stuff. The reason we're making batons today is so that we can kind of avoid that. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like in just a minute. When you're not using this hatchet or this axe, I'll show you what you can't do. Okay, ready? Don't do this. Horrible for the blade. Don't do this. Don't do this. The only thing that you can do, there's two things. Number one, it can go back in the sheath, but to be honest with you, the sheaths are going to be over here in the bag. So the only real safe spot for this is going to be in this stump. Now, a lot of you are going to go like this at first. Notice, what's it not doing?
Sticking.
Very good. It's not sticking, okay? So you're going to hit it harder, and then maybe you'll miss, and a bad thing happens. Here's the trick to getting this to stick in this stump. Ready? If you take the blade and you hit it flat, doesn't go in, okay? You have to angle it back, whoop, so that this bottom kind of corner gets into the wood. Ready? I go down here, I grab with one hand, or two, that's fine. With one hand, I swing it up like this. I don't go at like Michael Myers coming at you with a knife, right? I don't go straight down. You let the axe swing. So it swings like this. So ready? Bottom part right here stays in, okay? Now, if you do this and it's like wiggly, I see this a lot, and it's like slowly moving, that's very dangerous, okay? So I'm not asking you to come up here and just stand over there, or yeah, back up a little bit. Actually, you two, I don't want you behind me. It doesn't make sense. So go either one right there, maybe one over there. I just got a blood circle, all right? Just like we learned about in knife safety, the blood circle also applies when we're talking about axes, okay? So we're here, get it to stick, that's fine. If it's not good the first time, if you get this, pull it out, try it again, okay? Don't miss, okay? If you miss, you go into the ground, it destroys the axe blade, or even worse, it goes into your leg, very bad, okay? So again, we're never up like this. We're certainly not doing this. If you're using an axe like this, boom, much easier to miss, and then you go right here. So the only way that I really want you working on these anytime this semester, because you're gonna have access to these for a lot of the projects we do. Two knees on a mat, working in front of you. Typically, you're going to be using a baton, which is just a big stick. You're gonna be making pretty ones, and you're gonna be smacking wood like that, so it's nice and safe, okay? It's very satisfying. We're gonna make a ton of firewood. We're gonna build that thing up over there so we have firewood for months. Okay, so I'm not using the axe. I go over here, I put it in. Watch this. If I put it in like that, somebody comes up, I see this a lot. I mean, watch. It's in there pretty good. So how do I get it out? Leverage, yeah. Ah, Jordan, you remember that. All right. Jordan knows some stuff. All right. So I come up here, I don't grab at the top, the neck here of the axe. I go to the bottom, and I use a little bit of leverage, and I just go, I kind of push down like that as I grab it, so watch. And then straight up, okay? So again, here, if I try to pull it out here, it's not coming out. You don't want to get into this, because now you're moving your stump, you're moving too many different things. I go right here, boom, straight up, all right? And then I have it.